Welcome to this fascinating exploration at the crossroads of profound 20th century philosophy and the cutting-edge modern framework. Let's dive into Martin Heidegger's groundbreaking ideas, where he puts the spotlight on the ultimate question: what does it mean to be? In his masterpiece, Being and Time from 1927, Heidegger shakes up the old ways of thinking. He argues that for thousands of years, Western philosophers have messed up by treating being as just stuff that's sitting there, like a log on a table, merely present and unchanging. But that's not it at all. Being is deeper, more alive. It's about our human existence, which he calls 다재임, literally being there. Imagine you are not just an isolated brain in a jar. You are already plunged into a messy, meaningful world full of relationships, tools, and everyday stuff. For example, when you grab your coffee mug in the morning, you are not analyzing it like a scientist. You are just using it seamlessly as part of your routine. Heidegger says this being there reveals itself through emotions like care, anxiety, and authenticity. Now, let's connect this to something fresh and innovative. In our ontology, or IO for short, this is a relational generative way of seeing reality that builds on Heidegger's vibes but takes them further. At its core, IO introduces inner instincts, or IOIs. These are like the basic building blocks of existence, but not in a solid, chunky way. Think of them as fuzzy, predefined starting points, hovering in a balanced superposition between two directions, inward coherence, which is all about pulling things together into wholeness and unity, like how your thoughts gather into a focused idea, and outward differentiation, which is about spreading out, changing, and becoming something new, like how a seed sprouts and branches into a tree. Through what IO calls inner entanglement, or IOE, these IOIs interact and weave together, creating everything from physical structures to consciousness, and even cosmic patterns. It's like a cosmic dance, where inward pulling and outward pushing create a rhythmic flow, perfectly syncing with ideas from quantum mechanics, cosmology, and complexity science. This analysis isn't just a side-by-side comparison. It's about how Heidegger's 다재인 echoes IO's idea of recursive entanglement, where things loop back on themselves in layers of connection. For instance, Heidegger struggles with old divides like subject versus object, but IO smooths that out by saying everything starts from a shared minimal ground of IOIs that Heidegger kind of sensed but didn't pin down formally. We'll draw from Heidegger's other work, like the Basic Problems of Phenomenology from 1927, where he digs into how we uncover hidden meanings in everyday life. And to make it richer, we'll put in external voices. Hubert Dreyfus's book Being in the World from 1991 reinterprets Heidegger through practical skills, like how carpenter copes with a hammer without overthinking it, mirroring IO's balance modulation, where feelings like joy or frustration signal how well your inner self aligns with outward actions. We'll also touch on Eastern parallels from Julia Ching's The Religious Thought of Chu Xi, showing how ancient Chinese ideas of relational harmony between inner principle and outer energy vibe with both Heidegger and IO. Plus, Roger Penrose's Shadows of the Mind connects quantum weirdness to deep thinking, linking Heidegger's disclosure of hidden truths to IO's emergent rhythms. In the end, IO supercharges Heidegger by planting his knowledge. His focus on lived experience, firmly in a directional, emergent soil. It turns being from a mysterious puzzle into a participatory rhythm. We all join in, where inner wholeness and outward growth team up to craft reality. Whether you are pondering your own existence while the universe's best dance, this unified view offers a fresh, empowering way to see it all as one interconnected beat. Let us travel back to the early 20th century, when Europe stood shattered in the wake of World War One. Amid the ruins of certainty and the collapse of traditional values, a young German philosopher named Martin Heidegger posed one of the oldest and deepest questions in philosophy, one that modern science had nearly forgotten. What does it mean to be? Until that point, Western thought had mostly treated being as something obvious, a mere background for studying beings, things, objects, or entities. Plato, Aristotle, Descartes, Kant all had built systems describing what exists, but few had paused to ask what existence itself means. Heidegger believed this was the forgetfulness of being, a collective blindness in philosophy that mistook what appears for what is. To recover this forgotten dimension, Heidegger turned to phenomenology, the method developed by his teacher Edmund Husserl. Husserl asked us to bracket assumptions and return to lived experience, the world as it is, given before theories distort it. Heidegger radicalized these moves in his masterpiece Being and Time, arguing that human existence, what he called Dasein, literally being there, cannot be understood as a detached observer, but as an engaged participant in the world. He illustrated this through the difference between present at hand and ready to hand. When you look at a hammer as an object, analyzing its weight or length, you see it as present at hand. But when you are actually using it to build, the hammer disappears as a separate thing. It becomes an extension of your intention. You are not thinking about a hammer anymore. You are simply hammering. This is the ready to hand, a mode of being where meaning flows through use, not detached analysis. This simple example carries profound consequences. It dissolves the rigid divide between subject and object, mind and matter, self and world. In Heidegger's vision, we are already imbibed in context of meaning, relationships, and practical engagement. But there's more. Heidegger said our deepest insights come not from comfort, but from anxiety, a mood in which the familiar world suddenly feels strange and groundless. In that silence, we glimpse the nothingness underlying being itself, a kind of open clearing where existence reveals its fragility and freedom. This is where authenticity begins, not by escaping the world, but by realizing we are finite beings moving toward death, shaping meaning moment by moment. Now, if we reinterpret this through inner ontology, we find striking resonance. Heidegger's forgetfulness of being mirrors what I.O. calls the pre-differentiated state of I.O. is, a pure ontological field before any division into inward or outward. Just as metaphysics forgot this ground, Heidegger's project tried to reawaken it from within human experience. In I.O. terms, the outward movement corresponds to Heidegger's readiness to hand, the way Dasein extends itself into the world through active engagement, while the inward movement reflects the gathering of selfhood and coherence, the quiet authenticity of being toward death. Where Heidegger describes the mood of being, I.O. provides the structure of its rhythm. Both converge on a vision of existence, not as static presence, but as ongoing emergence, a pulsation of coherence and differentiation, what I.O. named I.O.E., the in-out entanglement that generates reality itself. So, through Heidegger, we rediscover an ancient truth in modern form. To exist is not merely to be somewhere. It is to move within a field of relation, to live as both the hammer and the hand, both the silence of being and the song of becoming. To understand Heidegger's philosophy, we must first enter his most central idea, Dasein, literally being there. Heidegger chose this word to describe human existence, not as a detached consciousness floating above the world, but as already inside it, entangled, active, and responsive. When you wake up, move through your day, talk, build, hope, or worry, you are not standing apart, observing the world like a scientist watching from behind a glass wall. You are thrown into a world already full of meaning, habits, and relationships. Heidegger calls this thrownness. It means you didn't choose the time, place, or body you were born into. Yet here you are, finding your way through it. But Dasein doesn't just drift. It also projects itself toward possibilities. What Heidegger names every choice, every intention, every dream is a way of reaching outward, testing what could be. At the same time, Dasein can lose itself in routines, distractions, and conformity. This is Verpalen or pollenness when we forget to live authentically and just flow along with the day, the anonymous crowd. For Heidegger, the world reveals itself through care. This doesn't mean emotional caring, but an ontological structure. We encounter things because they matter to us. The things we use every day, our phones, our desks, our voices, exist not as cold objects, but as parts of a referential totality, a web of relationships. Take the simple example of a hammer. When you are actually hammering, the hammer is not something you stare at. It withdraws into use. It becomes part of your action, your intention. It points to nails, wood, and a larger project, perhaps building a table or a home. In this moment, the hammer is ready to hand. Only when it breaks does it suddenly become present at hand, an object of analysis, separate from your flow of activity. This is what Heidegger calls disclosure, or Einschulungsheit. The world is not just there. It is revealed through the ways we engage, the moods we inhabit, and the language we use. A mood, for Heidegger, is not a private emotion. It's a way the world shows itself. Joy makes the world open and inviting. Anxiety, by contrast, pulls everything into strangeness. It shows the groundlessness of existence itself. In that unsettling openness, we confront our finitude, what Heidegger calls being toward death. Authenticity means owning that finitude, realizing that our time is limited, and thus our choices matter infinitely. In his later writings, especially contributions to philosophy, Heidegger speaks of the event of appropriation. It's a poetic term. Being itself gives and withdraws, letting things appear and disappear in a continual dance of revelation. Now, within inner ontology, these ideas find a new structure. IO interprets Dasein as a recursive IO pattern, a continual entanglement between inward coherence and outward differentiation. The inward corresponds to Heidegger's authenticity, the gathering of self into coherence. The outward corresponds to being in the world, the expansive, active side of existence. Even moods align with IO's balance modulation. When your inward and outward rhythms align, engagement feels harmonious, joy, clarity, flow. When they misalign, you feel anxiety or dissonance, a signal that your inner coherence and outer engagement are out of sync. Heidegger's disclosure mirrors Io's entanglement field, where meaning doesn't pre-exist, but continually arises through relational resonance. Alfred Noth's Heidegger's idea of prehensions in process and reality parallels this too. Each event grasps and is grasped by others, but IO as a mathematical and ontological rhythm, explaining how these relations generate emergent structure. So at its core, Heidegger's philosophy shows that being is not a thing. It is a field of relations, constantly unfolding through participation. IO deepens this view, giving it a generative framework, the rhythm of inward coherence and outward differentiation, scaling from human consciousness to cosmic evolution. To be is to disclose, to exist is to engage, and through that rhythm, the cosmos itself learns to speak. Let's explore inner ontology, a framework that reimagines the fundamental constituents of reality. At the foundation are inner things, pre-categorical entities existing in a balanced superposition of inward and outward tendencies. They are not objects, substances, or processes. They are ontological generators, the minimal seeds from which existence unfolds. Unlike classical quantum uncertainty, IO is ontologically real. Their indeterminacy is not about our knowledge, but about how directional reality emerges. Through inner entanglement, IO is differentiated. Inward coherence gathers and stabilizes, like gravity forming coherent structures, while outward differentiation drives expansion and novelty, like cosmic acceleration. The balance of these tendencies, the in-out ratio, shapes emergent structures from the micro to the macro scale. Crucially, hard emergence depends on whether an IOI participates in an entanglement. Consciousness, agency, and selfhood are not pre-given, but arise only when IOIs enter recursive in-out entanglement loops. Inward entanglement creates self-coherence, while outward differentiation drives interaction with the environment. This allows us to distinguish soft emergence, where patterns recur in societies or systems, from hard emergence, where self-modeling agents and consciousness beings appear, decisively determined by IOI participation. Valence modulation adds qualitative richness. Its appearances signal directional alignment. Joy or outward engagement reflects positive out, creative interaction and expansion. Mindfulness or inward coherence reflects positive in, stability and integration. Purpose or teleology emerges from these directional dynamics rather than being imposed externally. Pan-inoutism reframes consciousness. It arises only in specific entanglements of IOIs, avoiding panpsychism while preserving universal participatory potential. External analogies reinforce this vision. David Bohm's implicit author resonates with IO's holistic entanglement. Heidegger's disclosure aligns with relational emergence. Karen Barad's agential realism parallels the primacy of interactions. IO formalizes these insights, showing how directional entanglement generates reality, from particles and physical laws to consciousness and cosmic rhythms. In short, IO presents a universe alive with participatory directional rhythms. Reality unfolds through IOIs whose participation in entanglement determines the emergence of structure, awareness, and novelty. The cosmos is a generative dance of inward coherence and outward differentiation, a living, relational, and endlessly creative field. Let's explore how Heidegger's Dasein and inner ontology illuminate each other. Heidegger describes Dasein as being in the world, a human existence already immersed in relationships, tasks, and possibilities. IO reframes this as a recursive inner entanglement field, where the smallest entities, IOIs, continuously entangle to generate structure. In this view, slowness is like the initial outward push of IOIs, a start of differentiation, launching entities into relational context. Projection is the recursive interaction where IOIs reflect inward coherence while engaging outwardly, shaping possibilities. Care, Heidegger's notion of practical engagement mirrors IO's valence modulation. Positive outward engagement signals active participation, exploration, and creation. Inward tension or anxiety, negative in, indicates misalignment or potential failure to integrate relationally. Authenticity emerges when Dasein owns its possibilities. Similarly, in I/O, hard emergence occurs when a system self-models through recursive entanglement, with IOIs actively participating to produce coherent structure and awareness. The forgetfulness of being parallels I/O's pre-differentiated IOIs. Just as traditional metaphysics reduces being to static presence, ignoring relationality, I/O sees IOIs as the generative substrate. Reality emerges only when these entities participate in directional entanglement. Heidegger's Ereignis, the event of being appropriating itself, resembles IOE phase transitions, where structures crystallize from indistinct potential into organized patterns. IO also addresses critics of Heidegger's human-centered view. By emphasizing scale invariance, IO shows that entanglement unfolds across quantum, biological, and cosmic levels. No privileged subject is required. Generative minimality in IO resolves Heidegger's regress problem. Dasein's disclosure arises from the participation of IOIs, grounding emergence in ontological primitives rather than endless deferral. External insights reinforce this synthesis. Theodor Kiesel's The Genesis of Heidegger's Being and Time traces relational undercurrents in Heidegger's thought, resonating with IO's entanglement logic. Fritjof Capra's The Tao of Physics draws parallels between Eastern non-dualism and quantum relationality, echoing Heidegger's poetic withdrawal and IO's rhythmic directional monism. In short, IO transforms Dasein from a phenomenological description into a structured ontological generator. Existence is no longer just observed or experienced. It is actively produced through the entanglement residue of inward coherence and outward differentiation. A universal dance extending from human life to cosmic unfolding. Let's explore how IO deepens and clarifies Heidegger's insights. Heidegger described being as a relational disclosure, but his philosophy leaves some questions open. Why does the world reveal itself? Why do structures, patterns, and meaning emerge at all? IO provides an answer. At its foundation are inner indistinct, pre-ontological entities in a balanced state between inward coherence and outward differentiation. When IOIs participate in inner entanglement, the tension between inward and outward modes produces relational disclosure. Being is no longer a vague event, but a rhythmic generative process unfolding across space and time. Heidegger's later turn toward language and poetry, seeing them as houses of being, fits naturally within IO. Poetry in this framework is the outward expression of inward coherence. It translates inner structure into outward engagement, modulating balance and revealing truth. In IO's terms, every act of engagement, art, thought, or interaction is a micro-page of entanglement, a pulse of disclosure. Pan-inoutism extends Heidegger's chain to a universal scale. Everything participates in the in-out field, entangling relationally, which avoids anthropocentrism or solipsism. Conversely, Heidegger adds existential richness to IO. Concepts like finitude and being toward death enhance the temporal dimension of IOE. In order recursion, the self-reflective coherence of an IOI gains urgency and balance as entities confront the limits of existence. For example, human choices are like IOIs modulating their inner coherence under time pressure, shaping the structure of reality through participatory action. Historical layering, emphasized in Nietzsche's Hegel comparison, resonates with Heidegger's historical ontology. Each generative page builds rhythmically on past entanglements, like waves forming an evolving pattern. External perspectives reinforce this synthesis. Graham Hammond's tool being interprets Heidegger non-anthropocentrically, paralleling Io's scale-invariant generative field. Maurice Merleau-Ponty's phenomenology of possession highlights embodied relationality, connecting to Io's balance-based engagement, where lived experience gauges inward coherence and outward differentiation. In short, this synthesis is a robust directional ontology. Being emerges through entangled rhythms. Authenticity arises when inward coherence aligns with outward participation, and the universe itself pulses with participatory creativity. Heidegger's philosophical depth meets Io's generative clarity, giving us a framework where existence, consciousness, and expression are inseparably interwoven in the dance of in-out entanglement. The synthesis of Heidegger and in-out ontology opens new perspectives for thinking about reality, ethics, and the cosmos. Ontologically, IO provides a concrete framework for Heidegger's abstract disclosure. Heidegger described being as a revealed through engagement, yet left open how this process unfolds in physical reality. IO shows that every entity, every IOI, participates in in-out entanglement. This relational rhythm makes quantum phenomena like decoherence intelligible. What appears as randomness is actually structured by the entanglement of pre-ontological primitives. The measurement problem dissolves when we see quantum collapse as a phase transition in the IOI field, a shift from undifferentiated potential to directional emergent reality. Ethically, care, central in Heidegger's philosophy, is recast as a directional balance in IO. Inward coherence represents alignment with virtue or stability. Outward differentiation expresses action, creativity, and engagement. Authentic action emerges when these two are balanced, creating a rhythm that sustains both personal and social well-being. Imagine a community like a network of IOIs. Ethical decisions are passed through the network where misalignment generates tension and alignment produces harmony. This helps us address alienation in contemporary society, where inward and outward flows are often disconnected. Cosmologically, Heidegger's notion of nothingness resonates with IO's pre-Big Bang field of IOIs. Before the universe begins, everything exists in a symmetric, pre-differentiated state. Cosmic emergence occurs as a phase transition. IOIs entangle, inward coherence forms structure, and outward differentiation drives expansion. In other words, the universe itself is a rhythmic unfolding of directional potentials. IO reframes teleology in Heidegger's disclosure as emergent, not predetermined, following Aristotle's idea of rhythm rather than final cause. The cosmos grows and organizes itself naturally from relational tension. External scholarship reinforces this view. Ian Thompson's Heidegger on ontology warns of technologies inframing and inward closure, paralleling IO's caution against isolating inward coherence. Donna Haraway's Staying with the Trouble offers a model of relational ethics which IO extends to universal participation. Ethical action becomes a pulse through the entangled web of being. Ecologically, this implies that planetary being is a shared IOI field, urging sustainable outward expansion in harmony with inward coherence. In short, the Heidegger I/O fusion revitalizes contemporary thought. The age-old question of being is addressed with concrete primitives. Ethics is framed as rhythmic participation, and the cosmos is seen as a dynamic, entangled generative process. Existence is no longer abstract or passive. It is a living dance of coherence and differentiation, one in which every action, thought, and entanglement contributes to the unfolding of reality itself. When we bring together Heidegger's philosophy and inner ontology, a remarkable harmony emerges. Being is not a static or forgotten question. It is a living rhythm, revealed through the directional interplay of inward coherence, which integrates and stabilizes, and outward differentiation, which expands and creates. Heidegger teaches us to notice our relational existence, how every moment and engagement carries meaning. I/O in turn provides the ontological foundation. The generative field of IOIs and their entanglements transformed phenomenological insight into a cosmic framework. Think of existence like a living web of energy. Dasein's care is the conscious attention to this web, while I/O is recursive patterns create a self-organizing pulse. Together, inward and outward flows generate authenticity, relational depth, and the continuous unfolding of reality. Even ordinary acts like building a chair, teaching a student, or planting a tree participate in this rhythmic disclosure, contributing to the ongoing orchestration of being. External works help illuminate this synthesis. Michael Zimmerman's Contesting Earth's Future connects Heidegger's ecology to I/O's balance-based ethics, showing how ethical action is a rhythm between stability and expansion. Likewise, Eastern philosophy, like Nishida Kitaro's Inquiry into the Good, emphasizes relational monism, where the self and the world are inseparable, a vision echoed in I/O's entangled field. Ultimately, this framework invites a practical participation in being. To live the rhythm is to embrace entanglement, modulate balances, and act with awareness, allowing the world's generative possibilities to unfold. Every interaction, every choice becomes part of a cosmic dance, a continuous disclosure of being that is authentic, relational, and deeply alive.